I think ultimately the question we need to answer is, why is attention so important to this reality? Why is it that this reality goes out of its way and does everything it can possibly do to make sure that it's extracting your attention some way, somehow? What is it about our attention that is so powerful? This is the question I think we need to answer. I think the notion of archons and, celestials and all the rest of it, with the exception of like drawings and some text, which, if we're being completely objective, could be faked. I don't know if I believe in the notion of archons, I think there are all types of different entities in this dimension. You have, I don't know the names, but you have more conscious people who are more powerful because they see reality for what it is, and then other people are just oblivious. But I think the notion of like archons harvesting our energy, right? It's another misdirection. I think the reality itself is what's harvesting our energy by giving us all these different stories. It's a rabbit hole, You go in there, then there's Enki, then there's Enlil, and then there's like, two brothers, and then and they came from here, and they came from there, and they came from. But how can they come from there when we all know like everything we've studied about outer space and like the star systems, etc., etc.? Like, how can it be feasible? Like, why would somebody, like an intelligent life force or life form, decide to come only to like Sumeria? So what about the people in South America, Africa, all the rest of it? Like, what about those people? Are they just like what's the story there? Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's interesting when you think about where all the gold goes. It's really interesting. I did a video on this on my old channel before it got shut down. It's like all this gold that we're mining, where does it go? People don't buy that much gold. So I suppose it gives that theory some credence. But I think the world is not what we think it is, man. I mean, look at China. Look at how much China produces per day. All these apps, Temu and all this other shit, right? All this stuff they produce, it's like, how the fuck could they do that? Like, how could you possibly, where do you get all the raw materials? How are you able to diversify your portfolio that much? Not to mention logistics and like, China is one factory, bro. China is a factory. The whole country is a factory. That's his job on the world stage. There are no companies. Alibaba and all the rest of it is all bollocks. It's a CCCP. Meanwhile, Russia and America play like war games with each other. But it's all fucking theater anyway, it's not real. You know what I mean? We know that. But if we can come down to the baseline of, there's a part of me that's not here, that's not from here, then everything here is not really real. Because when you really think about it, like, Everybody you're looking at is a projection, because you can never know, like, everything's perception, yeah? So you can only see your world based on how you understand the world. That's why when you speak to like a millionaire, it's like so eye-opening, because you're like, oh fuck, like, because the way they see the world is so different from your world, but it's all down to perception. No two people have the same experience of the world anyway, which means that we're here in this construct, right? But potentially everything here could not be real. And if that's the case, then that includes the archons, dogmatic religions, everything. Your worst enemy is probably someone very close to you, or someone that decided to play that role in your story. Vice versa. This place is trippy, man. But I've realized that you need to kind of like, the only thing that exists is the present moment. And what you have to do in the present moment is you need to sow the right seeds. The old scripts are gone. You can't change anything. Anything that's happened in the past, that's gone. Can't change anything about it. But you can change how the future plays out. You can rewrite the whole thing. Because you're a demigod, really. You're a piece of God. I keep saying this. And when you learn to obey God, i.e., obey that voice within you, obey the direction of that thing inside you, God will reward you in ways you can't even imagine, bro. Imagine going to church to go and obey a statue of a person outside of you, when the infinite light of life itself lives inside of you. It's literally crazy, bro. But the key point is you need to sow the right seeds in your present moment. So let me give you an example. Like, if you're thinking about what you're going to do tomorrow, with the foundational pieces of your life today, you're going to repeat the same day. You're going to have the same variables. But if you live in the end of where you want to be and think of your future with those variables, your future has no choice but to change. It has to change. It must change. It must. It's divine. It has to. It's like God saying, let there be light, bro. But if God said, oh, there's darkness here now, but so maybe tomorrow, with the darkness, maybe we can try and search for some light, then you're gonna have darkness tomorrow. It's that simple, man, I promise you. But I need to tell you something. When you're on this journey, life will fuck you up, man. Well, it'll appear to fuck you up. If you read the book of codes, I call it, the Bible, it talks about people like Job. People that are tested. Even Abraham said, you know what? Bring your son, man. It'll test you. The screen will test you. But you gotta live in the realization that whatever you're experiencing is not real. I know it's crazy. Like, as crazy as it sounds, yeah. It's all to do with how you've been programmed. Like literally. Like imagine if all of us were programmed to not fear death. Death would just be like a normal thing. Like, okay, cool. Oh, he died. Okay, because we will know that he's gonna come back or he's gonna ascend to the next dimension or whatever it is. It would be cool. It would be chill. But we live in a world of ego, you know. Whatever you want to create is already created, you know. You just need to wait for the confirmation. I remember seeing a picture. No, you know, you need to believe and wait for the confirmation. I saw a picture and it was really interesting. It said something like, the money is already printed. It's up to you to go and get it. You know, this reality is, the world is your oyster, bro. Like, don't you in your own life aren't there like instances of things that happen that just don't make sense? It's like, how the fuck did I get away with that? Like, yeah, man. Or how did that happen? Or how did I end up here? Or, you know, whatever. Real power. It took me a long time. I always knew there was something about me, though. Anyway. Oh, I had an NDE today. Shit, I forgot to say. Yeah, I had a real NDE today. Car nearly run me over. So crazy. It's like time froze. And then somehow, like, all my brakes were like, yeah. But this time the feeling was different. There was a like strange kind of certainty that I knew that I couldn't beat. I was fine. Nothing could harm me.